I've had the LTT backpack for about 6 months now, and I think now would be a good time to tell you about my experience with it and all of my opinions. But I just want to let you know that everything I'm about to say is probably a little biased because this is the most expensive backpack I've ever owned, and I've never owned anything that is at the same quality level or better. So basically, this is going to be a glowing review because it's been a nice backpack. But that's not to say it is perfect and without its flaws. So first and foremost, I just want to get this one out of the way because it's the biggest question everyone has. Does this fit underneath the plane seat? And yes, it will fit underneath the seat of a plane, whether that be a tiny single prop plane or something as large as a 747. It seems to fit, even when packed full with about 4 days worth of clothes, 2 laptops, a keyboard, mouse, headset, all that jazz. It does actually fit underneath the seat. Now you'll be very limited with where your feet are underneath that seat, obviously, because this is such a large and long backpack. But honestly, it hasn't been a problem for me. I'm also kind of short, so I don't really take up a lot of space. But it hasn't been a problem. Traveling with this backpack has been great. My biggest complaint using this as a travel bag is the lack of an external pocket for like water or a drink. It really does need that because when I was traveling, I've had this completely filled and there was nowhere to keep my water bottle except like in my hands. And yeah, you could hang it maybe off of one of these straps, but it's just kind of flailing everywhere. And there's just really no good place to just really strap this down, or at least with all the accessories I have. So I ended up just buying a water bottle and carrying that and tossing it when I was done. So that's obviously the major complaint, but I don't travel very often, so it's actually not too big of a deal. And then for work, and I'm talking about my daily job, this does fit inside in the intended pocket where it's supposed to go, and I'm able to bring my laptop and other accessories, work accessories that I would typically carry day to day, and there's plenty of room in here for like even a lunch box plus all the tools I would bring with me, right? So it's a great backpack. Daily use, love it. Traveling, it's great. It keeps all the pressure off of your back. I used to get like pretty bad back pain when holding onto a backpack for hours, but when you're standing in line waiting for a TSA to process you, like, I don't know, cattle, and you've been in the line for about 4 hours, it's still very comfortable. It's perfect for me. I didn't notice I was getting hot until I was in Orlando, where it's naturally hot and there's a lot of humidity. And because of that humidity, I did feel a lot of like sweat on my back, but I think with the mesh the way it is, and it does a good job breathing. So you don't have to really worry about having a lot of back sweat taking it off, even if you're in a hotter climate. Obviously, if you're in a hot climate for a long period of time, you're gonna sweat no matter what. And this will help you sweat, especially on your back because, well, I mean, that's just nature. That's how it works. But generally, at no point did I feel incredibly hot during my travels with this backpack, which is a huge plus. Now, for my extracurricular activities, I'll go to people's houses, I'll bring these tools, I'll run network cable, I'll make network cables, and I'll be in their attics getting dirty. These tools get dirty because I'm touching like years of dust, drywall. I have a drywall saw here that gets really dusty and it leaves a lot of, drywall dust, whatever you want to call it, all over the place, especially my clothes. And the backpack is not safe from any of that, but as you can tell, it's actually pretty clean. Even putting it on the dustiest of floors, there's hardly any dust at all on this. It does a great job of actually repelling dusts. There are no greasy finger marks inside of the bag either, as you can see. I was really afraid that this orange material would just like show all of the dirt and grime that I would get on my hands, but it's very clean and it's hard to tell that's even been used. It looks pretty brand new, aside from just a couple of places on the straps where you can see some, I don't know, stretching due to the straps underneath, whatever this is supposed to be called, the strap underneath the strap. You can see some white marks on the strap, but it's honestly not too big of a deal. It's hardly noticeable. The backpack's been great for, my side job, and I have no real complaints. It fits so many tools inside. And again, because of how wide, I guess, the straps are and how well it sits up on your back and doesn't slide back down even when it's loaded up, With tools, it's extremely comfortable. I literally have no complaints about the comfort. And what's also really great about it is there's a lot of like these little places where you can hook things up. So, you know, this is a great place for like sunglasses or maybe ID, something of that nature. You can obviously hang things off the sides. I like to hang like sandals off the sides of these straps here when I'm traveling, or, you know, like just hang something I don't really need. Plenty of storage for pretty much, I mean, like literally anything. I hang stuff off this backpack all the time. So, only 2 complaints. On my 5th month of ownership, I finally suffered one of the carabiner style zippers breaking. Don't know when it happened, but it happened when I was traveling to Orlando, and it did break. I'm not sure if maybe it got stuck underneath the seat and snapped off. I really don't know when it broke. I just know that when I got home, went to go unzip my book bag, and it was broken. That kind of sucks when you're spending $300+ on a backpack. You would expect something like this to not happen at all. Obviously it did. Am I upset about it? Not really. I was never going to like lock these together anyway, so I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. However, again, you know, when you're spending $300, it really shouldn't happen. I have zippers on book bags that are way older than this, that are basically new except for the wear and tear, you know, like the paint, I guess, has worn off. So that kind of does suck. Obviously, there's no hindrance to the zipping of this. Like, it works perfectly fine, but it just sucks. Other things, too, that are kind of a downsider is a lot of the sewing, or a lot of the places where it's sewed, is starting to fray. Not everywhere, just in a few places, and it's not too big of a deal because it's pretty subtle. It's all over the outside of the backpack and also on the inside of the backpack. And yeah, that's it. No major complaints. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to happen. Like, you show me an article of clothing that hasn't frayed after significant use, and, you know, I'll eat my words, I guess. But as you can tell, backpack's in great condition. I still really like it. I still personally feel like it was worth the cost. But without checking out other brands, it's really hard for me to give you guys like a fair opinion. So that's why I started this video by saying I might be a little biased. Would I buy this again? Probably not. Mostly because I really feel like I would much rather have that external pouch. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. It's really not that big of a deal. But if you're traveling a lot, let's say you're like travel once a month, you're probably going to want to pass on this backpack, because not being able to quickly just stow away a drink actually kind of sucks. Or even just like a catch-all. Like, if you're a person that just like doesn't like having things in your hands and you just want a quick place to put it, having 2 little pouches on sides are great for that. So you don't have to take the backpack off to reach back, stuff things in there, or grab things out of the little pouches on the side. You know, a lot of them are mesh, and then they're like stretchy, and that stretchiness tends to fade over time, which sucks. But I feel like with the quality of materials that Linus has asked for in this backpack, we probably could have got something that would have been not overly, or something that couldn't wear out. That stretchiness wouldn't wear out over time, or as long as a time period, and would maintain like rigidity while also being stretchy. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of a gamble, I guess. I still think that's the one feature it's missing, but it's not a deal breaker unless you travel regularly. Like, if you're a college student and you're going from class to class to class, and you're out in the sun between classes, and you're like, man, I'm really thirsty, and you have to take your book bag off to reach that drink. Yes, you can hang this bottle off of this backpack, but again, it's flailing all around, so maybe a smaller one would be better. But I don't know, like, there's a lot of things you can do with this, so it's not really a deal breaker, like I said, but it could be for some people, and I would understand why. So overall, I'm super happy with this backpack. I'm happy with it. I'm impressed. I like it. I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to continue to use it, hopefully for the next 10 years. Hopefully no more zippers break. If they start breaking like one every 6 months, my attitude will definitely change about this book bag. But for now, it's been pretty good. No complaints. No major complaints. Okay, maybe I did complain a little bit, but not a big deal. All right, I'll see y'all later. Peace.